Hello, this is Erin from Erin Whalen Online, and I am showing you today our sad old drab laundry room and how we transformed it into more of a country chic kind of period correct transformation. So we just recently purchased this house. It is a 1932 house, and this is actually an addition to the back end of it that they made into a laundry room. The addition was done very poorly though. They used some not good quality products, and so we're going to be removing those, like the baseboards that have severe water damage to them just because of the humidity and because they're pressed board, and you don't really want to use that in the South. We're going to be doing a patch repair on the side of the wall. You can see the original side of the house there. We are just going to do a nice simple cut and clean it up a little bit and use some mold resistant sheetrock to place back in this spot. And we're going to add some of the sheetrock tape to it, and then we're going to mud and texture the wall. The mud is going to be about a two-step process. We're going to have to put it on first, let it dry, and then place it on again. Very, very simple to do and makes a huge impact on the side to clean up the wall and also the back, which we will be tiling very shortly. Along with that, I use that mud to repair some of the holes in the walls and some of the areas where we ripped off a little bit of the texture and the paint when we remove the baseboards. I also cleaned the room very well so that the paint would have a good surface to adhere to, and we're going to be using this beautiful green paint. I did some research on kind of the style and the colors of the 1930s, and this is actually one that was very popular then, and so I'm using that. I'm also taking a moment to sand down and texture the wall where we're going to be also painting on this side. The back of the wall though, the back portion of the laundry room, we will be tiling, and so we're going to be using all these products here to tile. Very simple procedure. Actually, the hardest part of tiling is cutting. I got some nice Subway tiles and my tile cutter, and then my grout. This grout I'm actually showing you in this picture was a colored grout, but because this was my first time tiling, colored grout can expose some of the imperfections in your grouting, and I didn't want to do that. So we ended up going a different route and doing a white grout with white tile. The tile cutter was actually very, very simple to use. I was a little intimidated at first, but there's a little bit of a learning curve, and it's really easy to pick up on. It's got the measurements on the side, so it's very easy to get things correct. Here I'm applying the type 1 adhesive to the wall, and you kind of spread it on there, and then you use your trowel to make the divots in it on the opposite side of your trowel so that the glue can really dig in to these tile sections. And then you're going to use your spacers to make sure your tile's all evenly done, and we're just going to go along and do that this whole time. I loved that I used a little bit bigger Subway tiles. It was definitely easier than a smaller option. We also decided in this that we wanted to have a recessed brackets in the wall because we wanted a shelf, but we didn't really want the brackets to be super visible. So we are going to find the studs, and we are going to cut directly on top of the studs a spot out of the sheetrock, and I'm going to recess the brackets into the sheetrock, and I'm going to tile over the top of them. So you're only going to see the little lip that comes over the piece of wood that we have salvaged from a barn we had to take down. And it's going to be absolutely stunning. I made it so that I could put a nice full piece of tile over the top of it and do any kind of cut work underneath it, kind of to hide it. Because this is my first time, I didn't want to do a ton of cutting that was super exposed. Thankfully, most of my outlets and everything are going to be behind the washer and dryer, so you're not going to see too much. And those brackets ended up looking amazing in the walls. Now we are going to go through and we're going to grout everything. First, we have to clean off the surfaces really well. This sat overnight, and then we're going to take our white grout. Again, I changed from having more of a gray to a white, and we're going to press it in there. You press sideways when you're grouting, and just really, it's going to take your arm muscles. You got to rub it in good. You have to work pretty quickly. This probably took me about 30 to 35 minutes to place on fully. The room is starting to come together, and I'm so excited. While I'm letting this kind of drying on the wall, I'm going to do some coats of paint on our concrete stairs in here, and we're going to do a fun little pattern on them that pulls some of the green from the walls so it looks nice. We're also going to do a faux beam, again from the wood that we salvaged from our old barn, and it's just going to tie everything together. These are the pieces right here. My husband just looked up a YouTube video on how to do a faux beam, and so we sliced those boards exactly how we needed them to be, and we're going to adhere them to the wall, and then we're going to hang our nice little chandelier from the top. This is the supporting piece right here, and then we attach the rest of the boards onto that supporting hidden piece, and we are going to hang the chandelier directly from the middle. We're removing these lights on the sides. We're going to hang the lamp, the chandelier from one of the lights, and the other light we're actually going to put a plate over, and we're going to texture on top of it so you're not even going to know that it's there. All the old wood that we have in here just really accentuates and brings in the vintage feel as well. I love that we can reuse the reclaimed wood from our barn that we didn't want to take down, but we had to. And now it's the final touches. We're gonna cover up the water heater. We're gonna bring in an old cabinet that my grandma gave me, some brass pieces I found at a antique store, and then a beautiful rug I got from a nice rug shop. And we're gonna just stage it here, and that's it. I am so excited with how this turned out. It went from very drab and very disappointing looking to a place I want to go and do my laundry, and I smile every time I walk through the door. All these final little touches just made it perfect. It was exactly what I wanted.